Hey guys, it's Ricky with TechBud Solutions. So I kind of want to talk to you guys a little bit about the watch list that I'm going to be setting up as of tomorrow. I mean, it's pretty much essentially the same stocks, just that we've been trading this past couple of weeks. And we've had pretty good setups as of today with LNCO. I ended up making a little bit over $275 with trading kind of within the whole day. I mean, it was my day off, so I kind of took advantage of that. I saw a huge potential with that huge drop, setting up new resistance levels and new safety nets. I knew that it was going to be really volatile. So with that, me being able to discover right away that at 12.5 and 15 cents were the safety nets and resistance levels, I took advantage of it. Ended up profiting, riding it up. Every time it went back down, bought in, and then rode it back up. And it's kind of led to the success. So again, safety nets right about that 12.5 to 13 cents for Linco. And then resistance level at 15 cents. If you guys do not know what safety nets and resistance levels are, there should be a pop-up popping up right about the top right-hand corner, and then you guys can click on that video just so you guys are on track with what I'm talking about. So this would be a good setup. Be careful because this is a whole new area for Linco and Line, as they just have filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. So they've actually never been this low before. So they can set a completely new safety net and resistance level, and that's pretty much what we're going to be talking about as I trade live tomorrow. So that is for LNCO itself. Let's go ahead and get into Line. Line and LNCO are essentially sister companies, so they kind of both just fell from the 30 to 40 cent mark all the way down to the 13 to 15 cent mark. So they all close about the same price, around 14 cents. And just depending on what I see, I feel like that you're going to see a big drop. Not big drop, but around 13 to 12.5. And then that would be a good buy-in. But again, it is going to be a new day, and this is a completely new area, so be careful where you buy in. Make sure you see some upward momentum when you buy in around 13 to 12.5. Ride it back up, and just know that there's a strong resistance level right about the 16 cent mark as it continues to not be able to go above it. So that would be for Linco itself. Rex is also a really good setup overall, and I believe it was Javier is a group member in our team that actually kind of shouted this one out. But something I did let him know, just based on the decrease that Rex has had, I didn't feel just because it was dropping below 74 cents, I felt like it was going to still continue to drop a little bit more, just based on the history of this hitting 72 cents a couple days back. So with that being said, I know a strong resistance level is right about that 70 to 71 cent mark, and then a strong, well, that would be the safety, and then a strong resistance level would be right around right here. So let me go ahead and draw it in for you guys. Sorry about that. Would be right about there. So around that 78 cent mark. And I mean, it has a bunch of room for upward momentum, but it's just a matter if you're willing to hold. I'm not too sure if it's going to do all that with a matter of what we're going to be trading, but just know that it did close a little bit above 71 cents. So it's kind of setting its new type of safety net. And with that being said, every time it sets its new safety net, as it did here from here, you see quite a bit of a spike. But just make sure you keep up to date with the news, making sure that there's nothing wrong going within the company overall. And then this is Skyline Medical Incorporated. This is going to be a new one for us. This is at 17 cents. And the reason they've been shouting this one out, and it's been a couple of different members that have actually talked about this. The reason that I believe now this might be a better setup than it was a couple of days ago is that a couple of days ago it was sitting about that 19 cent mark, which was nice, but just based on the history, I knew that it was going to continue to drop just based on the old safety net of having been at 17 cents. So let's see if we can find that around, a month ago. It hit a little bit lower, so that's right about, that 17 cent mark. So what's that? So with that being said, I mean, if you see some positive action within the company, I believe a strong safety net would be right around that 17 cent mark, and then a strong resistance level. Let's see, let me go ahead and get it. So a strong resistance level would be right about here. Just based on this being an old safety net, and now becomes a new resistance level. So resistance level right about 20 cents, safety net right about 17. I feel like that gives you a good potential for a 3-cent gain. And when you're talking about a 17-cent stock that you're going to be buying, I mean, that's huge gains when you're talking even with small accounts of $5 to even $1,000 stock account. So good luck on that one, and then keep us updated with what you do with that. And then Threshold Pharmaceuticals, this one has a pretty decent setup. Yes, it does have a lower safety net at 22 cents, so just keep an eye on it, but just know that when it does hit 30, this is a nice place for it to go up. So let's go ahead and change this. Let's put it at 10. It's, once it does end up hitting that 33-cent mark, you see that it ends up going back up. So just know that this is a strong safety net for threshold pharmaceuticals. Does not mean that it won't go below it, but just means that it struggles to go below it. And with that being said, you can tell that there's a strong area of resistance right about 35 cents. So a 2-cent gain for a 33-cent stock can still lead to a couple $100 of gains depending on the account that you're trading. So just make sure you keep up to date with the news and just understand the safety nets and resistance levels within threshold pharmaceutical. Um, this is a newer company. I mean, it just has a nice setup overall, just based on the pricing. I still wouldn't necessarily buy just because if you see, I mean, the stock itself is doesn't trade as often, and with that being said, not being a lot of volume, it's going to be hard to buy in and buy out. And when it comes to having larger accounts, you can really affect the price of the stock overall. So, I mean, this is just one that I wanted to let you guys know about, and if you guys want to add to your watch list, that would be great. And then Eagle overall. Eagle overall has a really strong safety net right about 55 to 54 cents. Just know that it did end up going back up. There's a huge potential for gain. If we go a month back, I believe it hit over $1. And it being about 50 cents right now, I mean, it has a pretty good setup. Again, it did release its Q1 form, and just letting everyone know that it isn't doing as well as it did last year, so that's what led to that big fall. But for us day traders, we just kind of need to ride it for that one day. So just make sure you understand, where that safety net, where that resistance level is at. And again, that would be right about, so let me get a good area for you guys. Right around that 55-cent mark and 54-cent mark would be a good buy-in. And then, a good sell to set your limit order to sell would be right about that 57 to 58 cents. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it. I did want to let you guys know that you guys can feel free to join our group, so it's Tech But Solutions. You guys can join us on Facebook. The link should be down on the description, as well as it is on our YouTube page that you can find it right here, right in the little banner that you see there. So it is a free group. We kind of just network with one another and give each other motivations on, how to achieve your goals. So personally, I mean, what I do trade penny stocks, but I also do different types of investments. I'd be so happy to be part of your success, and you kind of learn the ropes with trading, and we teach you the fundamentals of trading when it comes to trading stocks. And if you want to see people actually trade while you kind of watch in the background, then this would be a great opportunity for that, as we kind of just shout out every trade that we do before we actually do it. So thank you guys again for watching. I hope you guys have a good night, and we'll get back onto this tomorrow morning. Good luck. No, I'm ripping for the Lord.